Hello everybody and welcome back to the best reactions. Today it is the Italian Grand Prix edition, one that I genuinely think there was going to be about 7 memes for, and all of it about how potentially dull the race was, and then something happened, something that I might need to jog my memory over happened at the end of the race, and my goodness gracious me, it changed everything. Let's get into your reactions. P10, Joe Formula 6P, hearing the Italian national anthem. My goodness gracious me. I know this isn't necessarily funny, but it definitely is a best reaction because I was just soaking it all in. The singing, the flyover as well. It made me believe in a Ferrari miracle, and we finished P4 from 4th on the grid for Charles Leclerc. P9, Joansa _ 44 laps and only 2 moments post the start of the race. Yes, this, of course, was before everything kicked off right at the end, which got a lot of chatter on the internet, as we know. F3, F2, they were popping off. There was so much going on. And then F1, I was getting so triggered, by the way, sort of maybe half to two-thirds way through the race. And first to second, second to third, third to fourth were all 6 seconds. I genuinely was starting to question why I watch Formula One. There are many reasons, of course, but it wasn't really delivering. We had obviously a crazy first couple of laps, which were awesome to watch, but after that, it really did, I was going to say chill out. It just sort of became a procession. P8, Sportsmaniac 144. We all know which side Matt's on after the race. Now, this is there's a lot of things going on with this meme. Monza decides Matt's 2025 mood. Yeah, we know which way. We know which way we went. 2026 being our year, potentially. We'll have to wait and see. We're dreaming. We will always dream. But no win at Monza, not even close. Ferrari were genuinely just not fast in comparison to, obviously, Max out in front, miles clear. If you'd told me, Charles finished about 4-5 seconds off the back of the McLarens, you go, that's a great race for Charles. It didn't feel like it. That first 10 laps, Charles was just sliding all over the place. Right, let's get into our first thing away from the top 10. Funny, controversial, might be something in between. And this, I'm just going to put it up on screen because if you're French, probably means nothing to you. But I've noticed a lot of sports accounts, doesn't even have to be Formula One, that do very, very sus graphics to garner engagement. This one, I don't know whether it's normal and this happens every single week, but I just saw it and I was like, that doesn't read the way that some people might read it. P7, Elite Merchant _ This meme is I genuinely think it's such an accurate way of describing like title battles we've seen in the past compared to what we've got this year. I'm struggling. I don't know if you are as well. If you're a McLaren fan, you're probably very invested and want to see whether it's going to be Oscar or Lando that wins at the end of the championship. But, of course, with what happened with McLaren at the end of this race and just generally the nicey stuff, yep, they can get on. That's cool. Don't mind it. But it is lacking. I don't know. I'm just not as invested as a Max versus Lewis, obviously 2021. That's set a bar far too high for what a title battle is, but we just don't really see them battling on track hardly at all, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm struggling to get like proper hyped for it at the moment. Maybe it'll change as we get to a few races from the end, but this meme, I've seen it before, and it's we're still waiting for the big moment in this championship, I feel. P6, XH26, welcome back. Yes, Ocon getting a 5-second penalty. I know it's a massive meme, and to be honest with you, we don't tend to see so many 5 seconds, usually 10 plus, especially for on-track collisions and contentious moments. But yes, Ocon, 5-second penalty. I saw someone saying it's the world is healing because of this. The meme is still alive. Honourable mentions. First up, we have Cell _Stone. Genuinely, that was, even though the race was, we were waiting for something to happen and it didn't really happen, I'm not a fan of these really fast races. Like, why are we getting so excited over an F1 record being broken for the fastest ever race? I have watched 3 practice sessions and a qualifying session. I've invested, 1, 2, 3. I'm working it out. I mean, look, if you add in then sort of pre-post stuff, probably 5-6 hours on the run-up to a race that is then the fastest ever. Why? I genuinely think that we should have minimum 1 hour 30 races. Why are we celebrating 1 hour 15? I just don't get it. No, not happy at all with that. We did blink and it was over. Andy Nibbles, McLaren asking to swap positions because of bad luck. Yep, here we are then, McLaren. We obviously spoke about it in depth on the podcast. I've slept on it now, recording this on a Monday. I don't know if it's because I've been watching Formula One for so long and I'm so used to seeing champions in the past saying no to people, no to teams, no to other drivers of helping their teammates out. I don't know if that's just the norm of what I grew up with Michael Schumacher and obviously with Max Verstappen, and Tommy's a big fan of Max, of course. So, yeah, it is a big old can of worms, Pandora's box, or floodgates that have been opened with this. Very intrigued to see how this unfolds for the rest of the year now. Like, where do we draw the line? I know that there's been potentially some clarification of this is a specific scenario and then other scenarios will be seen in different ways. I don't want that. I don't know if that's just the way that I want to watch Formula One, but I don't want it being so carefully treated by a team. Just let things unfold. That's another reason why I struggle to get so excited about this championship when you feel like it's being pieced together as nicey as it can be by a team that is so far ahead. You can't say they're both number one drivers and they're free to race for a championship when you're also doing stuff that just doesn't feel like it feels like the integrity of the sport is kind of not where it should be. Gavin Curley, 90. It's the McLaren way of racing. Top tier drivers, fastest car, and then papaya rules. Yeah, we love papaya rules, don't we? Of course, that came out most notably last year when everything kicked off with Oscar going past Lando. We need another team to be really sort of in the mix. Of course, we have Max out in front, but most weekends, McLaren are dominating. We need teams to be in there so that McLaren don't have the luxury of being like, oh yeah, swap the positions. No problem. No one's near you. Don't worry about it. Just do this, do that. Yeah, we'll do the rules that we want. Formula latest. Of course, a little meme about Max and the fact that he laughed because Norris had a slow stop. And I think, yeah, we were all thinking it. I laughed exactly the same way. Could not believe what we were watching. And, yeah, a talking point for sure. So thanks, McLaren, for that. Amazing _re 67666. Types of headaches, migraine, hypertension, stress, and papaya rules. Yeah, that's good use of the meme, that one. It really is. That's a good work. At Erikoff, Verstappen turned into Verstapp fast on Monza. I reckon, genuinely, Eric, you would have made it to the top 10 had it not been for Verstapp fast. You could have made it like 9th or 10th, I reckon, but the caption killed me off. Good meme. I like the variety of fastest lap memes that we get with certain drivers, and they may be on a boat or whatever. This is a new one, so well done for that one. Real Martin Krebs. Now, this is a chaotic meme, to say the least. The cojones of that team. So I'm Michael Massey the best, says Tom Bellingham. Then no chance. And then amateurs. And obviously this is some kind of skit going on, I assume. Some of you will get it. I kind of get it. It's an interesting one, to say the least. But you made it through anyway, Martin, just because you put the effort in, and I kind of get it. It's controversial opinion time, which means it's Tommy time. He's here in the Best Reactions episode. Tommy, you've submitted your controversial opinion, and it is as follows. Scott.taylor.uk comes in with, McLaren rivalry is the most boring title fight of all time. Over to you.
I really want to hype this up and say I completely disagree, but my God, is it the most boring of all time? I've kind of looked back and thought about other championships, and even last year when, you could argue that the championship battle, some people think it was never on and Lando was always too far behind Max Verstappen anyway. That was more interesting than this, because it felt like there was some spice to it. And I understand that, I've just got to reset my brain that this is the way McLaren are going to play it. But my God, I wish they wouldn't, because it is incredibly frustrating to watch, because they've won the constructors. Their whole team philosophy is, we've got two number ones, we want to race each other, we want to make this sport exciting and stuff, and papaya rules, this is what we do. And yet, it feels like they're kind of controlling it a bit now and taking all the spice away.
Yeah, so it's kind of, they give us this, well, we have two number one drivers, they're free to race, but on our terms, on our really weird surgical terms. That's the battle you're going to get. Yeah. And I think, we're talking about boring title fight here, of course. Yeah, you could say that last year there wasn't a massive actual fight here, whereas this one, they've been within a race win up until, obviously, after Zandvoort, the entire way through the championship.
This should be better because it's closer, but it's not. And that is the most frustrating thing, I think.
I think, McLaren have a part to play. I think also we've just been quite unfortunate, and maybe it's due to just F1 in 2025, where we haven't seen them on track together fighting all that much. It feels like they're having their own separate seasons, and we'll meet you in Abu Dhabi to see how many points you have. That's the kind of feeling I get.
Even though they're completely dominating now, and other than Max winning that race, they've kind of locked in 1-2s forever. But yeah, it's just, we had this conversation of be thankful that of all the teams dominating, it's the team that have two drivers that are incredibly close. But now, and we said that as this title ramps up, it's going to get more and more spicy. I really do hope that's the case, but certainly after that race, I feel that's less likely to happen, and it is just the way that McLaren and their drivers want to play this.
I never thought I'd wish for 2023 to come back, Tommy. I want Max 15 in a row again. That's
same.
I'm kidding. No, don't take me back to that. All right, thank you, Tommy. Let us know.
Bye.
Do you agree with the controversial opinion? Is it even controversial? P5, AMG Piper. Tommy getting ready to pop off on the podcast. I had to include this in the top 10 just purely because Tommy was riled up, and you got to let me know in the comments if you enjoy a Tom Bellingham that's riled up, because he doesn't get riled up often. He's very calm, he's very composed, very analytical, but he was not happy with what he'd just watched. Obviously, he's a diehard Max Verstappen fan, and Max is not like that. So, Tommy's all about the Max way of things. I'm a Michael Schumacher fanboy growing up, so I can see why I probably lean towards that as well. Are we wrong for that? Okay, another thing away from the top 10, and we might well make a full podcast on this because we've got an off week coming up. We'll see what the schedule's saying. But Stefano Domenicali made some comments, didn't he, on the run-up to the Italian Grand Prix, one of which being that we apparently, according to some survey that I never saw, they've gathered this data to say that we don't want as long a races as we currently have. That is complete and utter garbage. I'm sorry. I just because highlights videos on YouTube get big views does not mean we want 8-minute races like the video length we see on YouTube. That could be one of many reasons. It could be the fact that people can't afford to have Formula One on their said platform because it's very expensive. So they watch the highlights. Maybe they were busy. Maybe they're not that interested this season because of the lack of spice in this year's championship, and therefore they'll just catch up on the highlights. There are plenty of reasons other than the race needing to be shortened as to why highlights are being watched. So I think that's absolute rubbish. And I'll be so upset if we get shorter races. I know that they might be just teeing up the fact they're going to announce 12 sprint races or something like that. But do not change the length of the main Grand Prix. We do not do this whole massive build-up for even a 1 hour 15. I felt dissatisfied by how short Monza was. Please, don't pander to this social media generation where everything needs to be 60 seconds and short attention span stuff. Please don't. That will honestly, it will ruin the sport if we start looking at our races, 45-minute races. No! P4, Pidomantu. This one made me laugh. It was a very simple meme, but it made me laugh because you're listening to the commentary and they go, "Is that a cheer for Lando?" Meanwhile, it's like boo, boo. Very obviously was booing. By the way, do not agree with it in the slightest. The fact that Lando was booed for something that McLaren did, I thought was completely unfair. So, yeah, did not agree with the booing in the slightest. But it did make me laugh that, this meme very accurately depicts what they were trying to figure out during the commentary. P3, Banshee, this McLaren Championship fight. Utter woke nonsense. This is a very good meme. Very, I would say, accurate in a lot of ways. How do you balance fairness? I think it's a really dangerous route to go down, trying to balance fairness. Formula One's not fair. You have car retirements, you have unlucky pit stops, you have tyres going off, you have had George Russell saying that the Pirelli tyres, I think he was questioning a while ago, wasn't he, about the Pirelli tyres and how they were working across cars and are they actually equal. There's so many things. You cannot balance fairness in Formula One, and it takes the excitement out, it takes the unpredictability out. Lando has a slow stop, it's a big moment, he loses 3 points or 6 point swing to Oscar in the championship, and then McLaren balance the fairness. No, not for me. P2, Alex_Herman77. You just missed out on the top spot. This is a great meme. Life is hard, but Pirelli rubber is harder. So true. So true. We spoke about this again in the full podcast, but Pirelli have a very difficult way of managing this in the sense of their messaging as they make tyres. They don't want those tyres to explode or to run out of rubber, and it's a very difficult thing for them to do, but yeah, they lasted a long time, but it is Monza, so what do you expect? Before we get into P1, one final thing to mention from the weekend, which I found very funny. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. It's where after the race, the top three, they're obviously interviewed and they have the post-race conference with all the journalists, and there's a journalist giving a hypothetical scenario, which, to be honest with you, was a bit silly. I think I don't know why the question was about, if one's in P4 and the other one's first, and P4's had an unlucky moment, will P1 let P4 through? No. The question was, like, if it happens again between their first and second, and something unlucky happens to first and they fall to second, then what are you going to do? Because obviously they're not going to give up positions to other teams. But the funny thing was Max in the middle, of course, just won the race, sat in the middle, P1, sliding down his chair. It's just such brilliant physical comedy, because you know exactly what Max is thinking at the time. So go and check it out if you haven't. P1, the winner of Best Reactions for the Italian Grand Prix is Noel Raj S. This meme is absolutely brilliant. Oscar's engineer promoted to lead negotiator to let Lando through. We need you to release the hostage we gave you. Yeah, that is could not be more accurate for the whole situation that had happened. So well done, Noel Raj. You win some P1 merch. Hashtag P1 if you want to get involved next time for Baku. And if you win, then you will get a lovely gift card to go towards some lovely P1 merch. So thank you for getting involved, and well done to Noel for winning. Right, that is it. Thank you for tuning in and for getting involved in the best reactions. Today was of course, Monza Grand Prix edition. A week off, and then we go to Baku. What will Baku bring? Another meme. A lot of memes have come out from Baku in the past. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Remember to subscribe and give us a like as well if you've enjoyed this video. It helps us a lot. And we'll see you soon. Lots of love. Bye!